Hey, what's up, Warriors? Hope you guys are having an awesome Thursday. I'm reading a really good book right now. It's called Practicing the Way by Mark Comer. I would highly recommend that you read that book, and really the whole premise of it is being an apprentice of Jesus. And I think we're living in a culture, or we're developing a culture where it's like, hey, we're going to a rock concert, we give our life to the Lord, and we're saved, which is true. But there's not a whole lot of depth to what we're doing. There's not a whole lot of meat to what we're doing. And so I just want to challenge you as a man who's raising children, or you want to have children and a family. We've got to think about what it's like to be an apprentice of Jesus. And so when you look at the Sermon on the Mount, there's a couple times when Jesus talked about practicing. In the beginning and at the end, practice. And so I think there's a big difference between trying and practicing. I think a lot of men, it's like, well, I'm trying it. I've tried it, right? I've tried the whole Jesus thing. I've tried the fitness thing. I've tried the nutrition thing. Whatever. But there's a difference between trying and practicing. Trying is like, I'm going to try a beer. I've never had one before. Hey, whatever. You tried pot in high school, whatever. I've tried to be a good husband, which means that, you basically gave your wife flowers and, you wrote her a card and, you were nice to her for a few days. But practicing is different than trying. Practicing is I've had this conversation with my boys. They're like, why can't we just go to the game? Like, why do we have to practice? I said, because practice is what makes you better for those moments whenever you need to be good. And so practicing the way, being an apprentice of Jesus, I would encourage you that life and being in a relationship with Jesus, the whole point of the Warrior 40 Challenge and being a part of Warrior 3 Project is about, hey, listen, fitness never stops. Eating good, healthy food, being a good leader for your family, for those around you, being a healthy dad, being in a relationship with Jesus is just constant practice. I don't get a choice as to whether or not I want to practice being a good father. That's just something that we do. And the Christian walk is very much like that. And I'll tell you, I've had a lot of practices. I've wrestled since I've been in 7th grade. I was a Division I wrestler. I can't tell you how many practices that I had. Way more practices than I did have games. Growing up, baseball. I practiced baseball a lot. And I think life is like that. Start looking at your relationship with Jesus as just, I'm practicing. How do I practice to be Jesus with skin on? And that's what the ultimate game is about. Is my physical body. People look at it as an act of worship, right? I mean, am I stewarding over my physical body? Am I practicing good physical things? As Luke 10:27 says, love your Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength, right? So we can't leave that out. Every day is practice. I'm not necessarily training for anything per se, besides I'm just practicing to be a good healthy dad. Same thing with your devotional and your daily grind with the Bible and wrestling with the Lord. It's practicing of that there's going to come a time when you're going to have some type of a confrontation, or you're going to have something come up or whatever, and that practice is going to allow you to respond in a way that's going to be like Jesus, right? And so that's kind of what I'm saying here. So practicing the way, Mark Comer, Sermon on the Mount. Stop trying and start practicing. Practice does not make perfect. Practice allows us to be able to better adapt to the situations at which we don't feel like we have a lot of control over. I'm telling my boys right now, we got to go out in the yard and we got to hit baseballs, because practicing allows you to be able to hit whatever the pitcher throws at you, a curveball, sinker, changeup, whatever. And I think life as a dad is very much like being at the plate. You have no idea what the pitcher's going to throw at you. but because you've practiced and because you're physically, spiritually, relationally, and emotionally in a good spot, and you've practiced that, then you can adapt and you can respond in a way that's more like Jesus. So go to warrior40challenge.com, take the 40-day challenge. If you want like a blueprint on how to better practice, that's what we did it for. I mean, I need practice too. Everybody needs practice. If someone's like, I don't need practice, I'm good, then you probably don't want to hang around with that person because they're probably pretty toxic. Everybody needs practice. The best pastors that I know, Aaron Chambers himself, Love Strong coach for Warrior 3, that guy practices all the time. He's always practicing. That's what I love about Aaron. That's what I love about Ralph. That's what I love about all of our guys at Warrior 3. Terry, like always practicing, always getting better, always doing things that are going to allow us to have a better opportunity to lead strong, live strong, and love strong. So warrior40challenge.com. If you're already doing the Warrior 40 Challenge, do me a favor, reach out to a couple guys, a handful of guys. I mean, your church, and say, hey man, let's do this together. Don't do it alone. Being on an island is a lonely place to be. The scenery's nice, but at the end of the day, you're the only one there. So warrior40challenge.com. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.